So you're running a company that's B2B, and you've got to get in touch with companies that have very specific pains that you can deliver on. Maybe you're doing a great job and you have a lot of integrity, great processes, incredible team, maybe a great product market fit, but not necessarily enough of the market knows about you to really progress to that next level. What do you need to do to get there? One of the fundamental aspects of this is getting in touch with the right people. Those who are experiencing the pain that you can address so well, they literally are out there wanting what you have to offer right now. What if I could show you a way that you can get in front of several hundred to several thousand of those pain suffering customers right now? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. With that said, let's dive in. Welcome to another TechLaunch video. In this one, as I said, we're going to be diving into getting in front of those several hundred to several thousand leads right away. Now, one of the things that I've found in my personal experience with this process is a lot of people overcomplicate it. If you boil it down to its component parts, a lot of lead gen has to do with pain. And you've got to get yourself to a point where you're just thinking about this basic level of fundamental pain. What's driving that pain? Today, we're going to be covering 3 specific areas that I think that you can look for within your business, especially if you're operating a software-based business or business that your customers rely on certain software for. You can take advantage of this video that we're going to go over so you can see specific techniques for targeting in these 3 different ways. Now, the very first technique is to take a look at outdated software versions. Now, in this particular view, you can see that we're looking at AngularJS, and in this particular version of Angular, this is an older version, and I know that my team specializes in being able to use this version of Angular and help upgrade people. So what a great opportunity, what a great door opener to get in touch with different businesses who are suffering with pain from being on an older version of a technology. Maybe they want to move from Angular to React. We can do that too. So we can put together a very catered offering to these folks. Now, what is this site? For those of you who follow our channel, you've probably seen this site and similar many times in the past. But the summary is this is a site that can index the content of public websites, and it can find the actual contents of all of the sites and do a quick search. And you can see it can find keyword phrases in the source code of the site. Really, really cool. So this is really helpful to see what different technology stacks folks are using and be able to target them based on outdated technology versions that we can then go and get in touch with these companies. So you can see we have the website names here, the website URLs of over 130,000 websites that are using outdated versions of Angular. Now, if we want to, we can do a lot of different things with this, and I'm not going to get into the details in this video on how to reach out, but you will see, and you can go check out other videos in the past that talk about how to get in touch with these folks, how to qualify them, how to drip, how to set up a lot of value that you can bring to them. And that's really the name of the game. You want to identify the pain. You want to really get into the weeds around what that pain is, what their experience is around that pain, and then provide a solution. So that's really a formulaic approach that you can take to solving some of these different folks' challenges. Okay, now following in that framework, that pain agitates solution, or PASS framework, if you want to refer to it by an acronym, you can also do another thing, and this is going to be the second technique. So the first was to find an outdated technology stack and go target that. The second is to find a competitor, and you can probably find a competitor in many cases based on the technology or the way that they label their technology on that website. So this is public view source contents of literally all of the sites that this group indexes, which is most public sites. And I've just searched for a competitor theoretically. And this particular competitor has 81 different companies that have their name on those sites. So this company built those sites, or they have some kind of attribution to themselves on these different sites. So I can get in touch with these folks and make my pitch to them basically starting by talking about pain and maybe discussing some of the weaknesses, not necessarily in a negative way about the competitor, but just kind of talk about the weaknesses and provide solutions after kind of agitating the problem with these potential customers. So I'm going after a competitor. I know what their weak spots are. I'm going to be above board about it, but I'm basically going to act like I don't know that they're working with a competitor. There's no use in, rubbing salt in the wound as far as speaking poorly of the competitor. But I do want to look at their weaknesses and really key in on those and be able to then kind of get it out of the prospect of the potential customer as to where they're suffering and how I can help with my solution. Now, this is going to lead us to the third area, and the third area that you can focus on is going with a sort of partner model where you're possibly extending a platform that's very popular. Maybe you can be part of the ecosystem of a big, huge whale in the market that you're in, and you can build up to a point where you can then become competitive. Until you're at that point, it probably makes sense to latch on to something that's doing really well and leverage their PR and branding for your own benefit. So this, again, is another thing that you can do where you're kind of looking at some of the weaknesses, some of the gaps that they've left as openings. And so here you can see there are 14,000 results for this particular search that I did. And again, I'm going to go after the pain agitate solution. I'm going to find what these weak or kind of pain areas are, and I'm going to really agitate that by sending email, calling, asking questions, and basically getting to a point with each of these companies where I can actually establish that solution that we can offer and be in touch. Now, with most of these leads that you're going to be getting in touch with, there's a big opportunity to qualify them by doing some analysis. And you can take a look at some of our past videos where we've taken these lists and we bring them into either an Excel file that we've provided in this channel, where you can literally access this Excel file, dump the URLs in. It runs API calls and gets the actual company name and revenue numbers. Or you can use paid tools that you can access for very low cost, where you can upload a bulk list of these URLs and get all of the info, the firmographic, technographic data, so you can get in touch with just the most qualified companies. Now, typically from doing a few of these kind of creative searches, you can get yourself into a position where you can think about an offer that is going to really highlight the pain and make it ridiculously obvious that they have a pain, while also allowing them to see that you could be a potential solution provider. Now, usually by having these insights, it really gives you an edge whenever you're talking with these potential clients because you've done your research. You're coming into the game with an advantage and you're not just presenting something super generic. So, of course, as always, if this video is helpful, we would appreciate it if you would smash that like button. And of course, if you'd like to see more of these videos, feel free to subscribe, and we will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.